and welcome to another edition of KCVA training. Today, we will be learning how to find budget balances. The quickest way to know how much is remaining within a specific budget is to look at your financial report, which was discussed in a previous video and will be linked in the description below. While looking at the financial report is the easiest way, it is also only updated at the beginning of each month. Sometimes it will be necessary to know how much is within any given fund or budget unit as of that day. There are 3 ways to do this: the cash control report, budget details within SMART, and the budget overview. Job aids for each of those 3 methods will be linked in the description below. This video is a quick reference guide on how I find the information I am looking for. The first method that we will go over is the cash control report. This report shows balances according to their fund, and it is handy because it can be set up to come directly to your inbox each morning. To do this, log into SMART and then go over to the nav bar here on your right side, hit Navigator, and then go into Commitment Control, Budget Reports, and this very bottom one will be the cash control report. Click that. And your first time, you'll have to add a new value. I just use my initials, but it can be anything you want it to be. And then search. And then here is where you can set the parameters of it if you want it to be for this month, this year, last month, last year, the file format you want it in. And then don't forget to put in 69400 down here. And then when you click run, you can set it for if you want it to come to your email, go to the web, which then you can go to the process monitor and find it. You can select the format you want it in, which I click PDF, or sometimes it is handy to have it in CSV, because then you can put it on an Excel spreadsheet and manipulate the numbers easier that way. And then under recurrence, you can select the first Monday, daily, Monday through Friday, just all these different ones. And then you'll hit OK. Go ahead and just select 8 a.m. and OK. And then when you hit Process Monitor, you can see that it is in the queue, and this green arrow means it will be recurring. So when you get the cash control report sent to your inbox, it'll come in an email that looks like this, titled KGL00002. And you can just click on the email, and then this is the PDF. Just open that. And then from here you can see, the fee fund. It started with $500,000. So far this month it's received $106,000. It's expended $8,000. So the ending balance is $610,000. You can go down the line and see that for each fund according to what's been going on this month, which is December in 2023. The only thing to keep in mind is that some funds, like 3220 and 3232, these are joint funds. Both KSH and KVH have money in both of these. And so 3220, this 141,000, all of it may belong to KSH, or all of it may belong to the Veterans Home, or it could be 70,000 belongs to each one. It just depends on what's been going on with that budget unit. When those were originally set up, the cash was set to the fund level. So that's how those occur. In order to know how much is in each one, you'll have to look at your financial report and then look at how much you've brought in this month and how much you've expended from this month. And you can do it that way. Or if you want, just shoot me an email at melissa.ford@ks.gov, and I'll be happy to find a current balance for you. These are very handy for knowing, I just had this bill come in. What should I pay it out of? And you can see here, the fee fund is a very likely option. Or, just any of them. Or maybe you'll look at it and see, hey, we only have $356 left in a fund. What's going on there? It's just a very easy report that comes to your email every day, and I hope this helps make your job that much easier. The next section of this video will be going over the budget details within SMART. This module is useful for seeing the current balance of a given fund or a budget unit. It is more detailed than the cash control report and can be used to see the real-time data for appropriated budget units, as well as finding all of the expenses that are related to a specific budget unit. To access the budget details, log into SMART and then click on this little compass, navigator, scroll down to commitment control, and then review budget activities, and then budget details is right here at the top. And then for ledger group, the main three that I use are on the top here. The appropriated one, this is for your state general funds and the SIBF. Cash will be for all of the other cash funds, your per diem, lottery money, fee funds, those sorts of things. And then this one is specifically for their expenses. To see the revenue for cash, it's down here on this third one. So the first one we'll focus on is the appropriation ledger group. And then hit search. And then on here, I'll just do Fund 1000, Budget Unit 103. And then you can choose, if you don't want any specific budget period and you want to just see kind of how we've done through the past few years, you don't have to put a budget period. I will just narrow it down and then view details. Then here we can see we started out this fiscal year with $1,298,000. We've spent $420,000. We currently have encumbered $61,000, and so the amount available is $816,000. And if we wanted more information, change the maximum rows to 99,000, because if you don't, it will only pull the first 100 and you will lose information. So I always change that to the maximum amount possible. And then on the budget line, click this little green book that says Drill to Ledger. And then click this arrow for more columns. And then here's where you can see we had $171,000 that came in on 6/30/2023. If we wanted more information, we can click this little magnifying glass and click this. And then this is where we see that $171,000 was actually a reappropriation from the last fiscal year. And then the other amount, the $1,126,000, that's how much was given to us this fiscal year by the government. And for expenses, if we want to know what all goes into this $420,000, we can click this. And these numbers go by the accounting period. One is July, August, September, October, November, December. And if we see, hey, we'd like to look at December, what's going on in December, we can click this plus sign. And this is going to show you all of the vouchers that have been entered against budget unit 0103, all of the journals, which pay is salary. And then if we wanted, we can even click this little guy up here in the top left, this little grid, and that will download it to Excel. And then that's handy for if I'm trying to do pivot tables, or if I'm looking to see if X number of vouchers makes up a certain amount. Just anything you might want Excel for. And then similar with the encumbrances, if you want to see how much is encumbered on a specific budget unit, this is one of the methods you can use. You can go in and see the different encumbered amounts, and again, you can click that magnifying glass and see, here's purchase orders, which create an encumbrance, and then vouchers. will remove that amount. Let me scroll over so you can see here. See, these are purchase orders, and then vouchers remove it from the encumbrance. It'll be similar to that for all of the state general funds and SIBF. If you'd like to see how much is in a cash fund, just go here and cash, search. The main difference between a cash fund and an appropriated is on the cash, do not enter a budget period. If you do, it will fail. I'll show you actually what happens here real quick. See, it's going to say no budget detail found. That's because cash funds are not tracked the same as appropriated funds. Why they have a budget period even available, I do not know. But there it is. You'll see if you remove that budget period and hit search, magically it works. Just hit view details. And then here you can see that so far, let me change it to the 999. When you see this astronomical amount, this 19 million, do not get worried. That's not 19 million as of this fiscal year. What you'll want to do is actually click this little green book. And this will show you, according to this fiscal year, again, July, August, September, October, November, December. In July, we only spent $41,000. August was a bit more with $340,000, and so on. So it's not that 19 million. That 19 million actually backdates several years. If you want to see how much is in that fund, it shows you as of this minute is $396,775. And if you would like to look at specific revenue, again, hit the return to search. And this time you can go to cash revenue and hit search. And then you can go to 2241, view details. And this is where you'll see, hit that little green book again. So far this month, they've brought in $31,000. Last month, it was $136,000. And again, if you'd like to see more about what is going into those figures, you can come here and see recently they had a $100 deposit, $6,000, $1,900, and so on. And actually, a handy feature is also click this little magnifying glass beside each one, and it'll show you the exact deposit that ties into that. Same with the expenses. You can click that little magnifying glass and it'll show you the voucher or the journal that created that expense. So this is just super handy for finding out specific details on each budget unit and fund. The third and final section of this video will be going over the budget's overview report. This report is helpful for just an at-a-glance view of where your appropriated funds are at. It can be used for the cash funds, but I find the cash control report to be more useful for that. But this will show where your appropriated funds started at this budget year, how much has been spent, how much has been encumbered, and where it's at. And all of that is just right in an easy spot to see, instead of having to look each individual one up. And so to access the budget's overview, go to, again, log into Smart, and then go to this navigator bar on the side, Navigator, Commitment Control, Review Budget Activities, and then instead of clicking the budget details this time, just go right below it and hit Budget's Overview. Again, if you're adding a new value, you'll click this tab, and I just use my initials. And then find value, search, and then down here you'll go and you'll select which ledger group you want. I do CC Approach, but there's all the others as well. Feel free to go in there and select different groups and just see what pulls up. And then for a budget period, I have the current period, which is 2024. For chart fields, in order to pull everything, I just put percentages beside each account, department, fund, and budget unit. Hit save. And then hit this little search up here. And it will pull up the results. You can view it in the browser, but I actually find it more beneficial to hit this little grid and download it to Excel. And from here, I'll actually just go to sort and filter, and then I sort out the appropriated funds, which are 1,000 and 8,100. And sometimes just to make it all on one screen, I'll go in and I'll hide these since I know what they are. And then from here you can see the admin. We started with 1,298,000. We've spent 420,000. We have 61,000 encumbered, and so we still have 816 available. KSH has 2,800,000 available. KVH has 331,000 available, and so on down through the state institution building funds. So this is just handy for just looking at a glance. And these 3 reports will allow you to monitor what is going on with your different funds and budget units. I hope they help to make your job a whole lot easier. Again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to email me at melissa.ford@ks.gov, and I hope you have a wonderful day.